Hi, I'm Mallory, your wellness coach, and today we are talking comfort foods. And to replace one of my comfort foods, eggplant parmesan, I'm going to share with you my eggplant stackers. They're going to give you that same comforting feeling, but a little bit of a lighter touch. We are going to be using eggplant. We're going to have some fresh tomatoes, fresh basil, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, some salt and pepper, and just a little bit of olive oil, and you will not be let down with how yummy this is going to taste. So I'm gonna work through this whole eggplant, getting these nice rounds. And when we have our eggplant parmesan, it's technically dipped in either flour or breadcrumbs, some egg, and then it's baked, and then it has lots of cheese on it. We're just gonna eliminate some of those steps, but it'll just be a lighter variation of the same comfort food. So I'm just gonna place the eggplants onto a sheet pan. You can get them nice and cozy on in there. And then we're going to need to drizzle this with just a little bit of olive oil. And then, of course, some salt and pepper. This will help soften up the eggplant. Eggplant, when it's not fully cooked, just doesn't taste very nice. It's a little spongy, so we want to get that nice caramelized flavor. So I'm going to pop this in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. Now, if I were cooking the eggplant all the way through, it might take a little bit longer than that, but we're going to put it back in the oven a little bit later. Now, I've already put one in the oven. So I'm just gonna swap them out. So I'm just gonna start to assemble my eggplant stackers, taking one tomato and putting it on top of each slice of eggplant. And I have one more tomato here I'm gonna slice up that I will need. And you want these slices to be about 1/4 inch thick. You don't want them to be too thin, but we do want them to cook down a little bit when we throw this back in the oven. So I have one more slice of eggplant here. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of Parmesan cheese, sprinkle that on top. That's gonna be that cheesy goodness that we know from our comforting eggplant parmesan. And then we need some fresh basil as well. Just a little bit will go a long way. A little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And then we're going to stack. So I'm gonna keep my larger pieces on the bottom, and I'm gonna start to layer up those smaller pieces. This is where that name Eggplant Stackers comes into play. Good. Those are all stacked. I'm just gonna give it another little bit of Parmesan cheese that'll make it nice and gooey on top. And then when we pop it back in the oven, that's gonna start to get nice and bubbly. And I'm gonna put them in at 400 degrees, keep the oven just as it was. And we're gonna put in there for about 30 to 40 minutes until everything starts to come together and give you this wonderful eggplant Parmesan taste. These are looking so delicious. You can see the golden cheese, you can see the tomato just starting to soften up a little bit, and the eggplant is nice and soft as well. And I cannot wait to dive in. I hope you guys enjoy this recipe as much as I do. For more recipes like this, check out nvjn.news/Mallory. On those days that we just feel like nestling in the house, it's really nice to just chill out and watch something on TV. So let me show you a handful of exercises I love to do on those days that you're just not motivated, but you can work it in during those commercial breaks. Follow along. Each exercise is going to be 30 seconds long. We got 4 different exercises, average commercial breaks about 2 minutes, but of course, sometimes they're longer, which means you just have to do a little bit more. First exercise is our bicycle crunch. I want you to lie down on the ground. Take your hands behind your head, elbows nice and wide, and bring those legs up to a tabletop position. And then you're going to twist. Here we go, 30 seconds, opposite elbow to opposite knee. Big twist, breathing through it. Now you want to try to lift that opposite shoulder blade off of the ground and extend those legs. If this is too much for your low back or it becomes too challenging, you can just tap your heels and keep it a little bit smaller. But I want you to try to get that nice big twist without yanking on your neck. We got 5 seconds to go. That commercial is about to change. All right, here we go. That next one. Lie all the way down on the ground, legs up, and let's go. Crunch it up and down, up and down. So this is basic, working through the core in the low and upper abdominals. Again, you're trying to get those shoulder blades all the way off of the ground, keeping those legs straight up in the air. Drive that belly button down into the ground. Alternatively, you could always reach towards those toes. Sometimes I like to pretend I'm climbing a rope. That works too. Just keep Breathing through. We got about 3 more seconds left of this boring old commercial. All right, let's work into those obliques a bit more. We have our side plank. Shoulder over the elbow, stack those feet, lift those hips. Dropping those hips down. Here we go, lower down, lift all the way up like you got a string, pulling those hips up really high. Try to keep your shoulder over your elbow. Now, if this is too challenging, lower down to that bottom knee. Do that same exercise, but I want you to get that full range of motion. We're working into those side obliques. Big lift, lower all the way down. Big lift and down. Good job. Keep it going, keep breathing. This commercial is almost over. We got 3, 2, and we have 2 sides. Swing it around. Get ready for that next commercial. We know our show's coming back on. Let's get it done. Lower and lift. Good, same form. Shoulder over the elbow. Lift those hips all the way up. Get that full extension. Remember that modification here too. Lower that bottom knee. Keep lifting. Keep your body open. Squeeze through those obliques. I'm feeling my core working a little bit. I'm ready for my show to get started. Couple more big, deep breaths. Here we go. I know it's wrapping up. We got 3, 2, and 1. There is nothing better than feeling like you accomplished a little something on one of those lazy nights after a long day. Give it a try. It was only 2 minutes. You're gonna feel great afterwards. Build this into a habit or a lifestyle. And for more exercises or workouts like this, follow me on Instagram at Sway Wellness.